dun. Just walking down the street, looking for some flowers. Yeah. Look at that smile on that kid's face. Practicing social distancing and looking for some flowers.
Dad, how come flowers smell good?
So good because they attract the pollinators to the flowers. Without the smell, some pollinators might not find them. A pollinator could be a bee or it could be like a butterfly. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's go look at parts of the flower. So I found some different types of flowers, boys and girls, and today we're gonna look at them and we're gonna be able to identify parts of the flower. So when you're on your social distancing walks, you guys will be able to say, hey, mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever you're with, I know this part of the flower. Pretty cool. So most people know this part of the flower, this part that goes all the way down, holds up the flower. It's usually green. This is called the, let me go a little smaller on the writing. This is called the stem. And most flowers will also have a little part that comes off of it. Kind of looks like this. And this is called the leaf. Now the leaf's job, that's an E. The leaf's job is to collect sunlight to help the plant grow. So without the leaves, then it wouldn't be able to collect the sunlight. Now the prettiest part of the flower is usually the top part. And I'm coloring mine red because that's my favorite color of flower. But there's lots of different color flowers. There's purple, there's white, there's yellow, there's orange. And this part of the flower is called the petal. Now most people know these three parts. They know this is the petal, this is the stem right here, and this is the leaf. But there's two other parts I want to show you guys, actually three other parts today that I want to show you guys. So when you're looking at flowers, you can identify them and go, hey, look it. This is one of them right here. This part right here, on the very bottom of the flower, this is called the sepal. And let me show you a picture of what it looks like. So it's usually, it can be the same color as the petal, but it's usually green. And the sepal's job is when it's a little baby flower called a bud, it actually protects the flower until it's ready to bloom. So when you're looking around, you see this little green part, or sometimes it's the same color, that is called the sepal. Okay? And then another important part that you can see most of the time, I'll color it orange, is this part right here. This top part. You'll see a whole bunch of these, and these are called the anthers. Anthers. Now their job, right, here's an anther here, here's an anther here, here, these are all anthers. Their job is to, this is where the pollen is, and this is where the pollinators, like bees, come along, they sit on the flower, and they collect the pollen. So they have a very important job. They have all the pollen on the flower. Those are called anther. Okay? And then the last part I want to show you guys today, it's always in the middle of the flower, and I'm going to color it purple. And this part right here is called the stigma. Stigma. Okay, and you can see that one because it's usually the tallest part in the middle of the flower. So if you look at this flower right here, remember how these were the anthers right here? These little balls? Well, guess what? The stigma is actually right here in the middle. I colored it green because it's right here. Can't really see it very well in this picture, but it was right there. That's the stigma. And on a daisy, it looks a little different. Here's all the anthers right here on the outside. And then in the middle is the stigma. This one has a big stigma. Look at all that stigma right there in the middle. Okay? So when you're out there looking for some flowers, you'll know that there are different parts. There's the stem, the leaf, the petals, the sepal, that's new, the stigma, and the anthers.